Good morning, students. Your teacher here, Mr. Sarasinski, with lesson 1.10, solving 1 and 2 step equations. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I start to make this video, the air conditioning kicked on. And I want to continue to apologize for this buzzing in the background. I will try to find another room to make these videos in because it's very annoying to me. And hopefully I just need to learn to embrace it maybe, but anyway, let's get started. 1-step equations and 2-step equations. So whenever we're solving 1-step and 2-step equations and solving equations in general, remember equations have an equal sign and expressions do not. We need to use the inverse property. If you don't remember, this is basically doing the opposite. In algebra, the way we solve equations is by undoing the things that have been done. Okay? We didn't see them get done. We didn't see these equations get created, but we're going to take them apart. And so for number 1, since 12 is being added to m, to get rid of it, I have to do the opposite. And I have to do that to both sides of the equation. So on this side, the 12s cancel out. And then on the right side of the equation, 10 minus 12 is -2. Number 2, we have to add 9 to both sides because 9 is being subtracted from g. In equations, we're trying to get the variable on one side by itself. And in these equations, there's only really one way, but in bigger equations, there's multiple ways. But here, it's very important to be structured in how you're answering these. Keeping the g on the right side is perfectly fine. 9 minus 2 is 7. Number 3, -7 is being multiplied by y. So in order to do the opposite, I'm going to divide. And if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. That side cancels out. And -91 divided by -7 is positive 13. Number 4, a is being divided by 9. So in order to get rid of it, we have to multiply both sides by 9. That cancels out. And on the right side, -4 times 9 is, this is an a, -36. All right, number 5. 2/3 is being fractions. To get rid of a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. These blanks are never big enough for my janky stylus. Okay, reciprocal. And all the reciprocal is a fraction flipped. So the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. And since 2/3 is being multiplied by x, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Mr. Sarasinski, since it's being multiplied, why don't I just divide? And you could, but I don't know if you've ever tried to divide by a fraction. It's very confusing. 10 divided by 2/3. Try to imagine that in your head. Mine, it doesn't work very well. But multiplying by the reciprocal is the same thing as dividing. So it's much easier for me to multiply 10 by 3/2 than to try to divide 10 by 2/3. So 10 times 3/2, 10 times 3 is 30, divided by 2 is 15. All right, 4/9 is being multiplied by w. In order to get rid of it, I could divide, but again, it's very hard to think about. I'm going to just multiply by the reciprocal, which is 9/4. Okay, those cancel out. Now, -8 times 9/4, -8 over 1. Negative 8 times 9 is negative 72. 1 times 4 is 4. And negative 72 divided by 4 is negative 18. Okay, number 7. Negative 6/5 is being multiplied by k. So we're going to multiply by negative 5/6. This is the reciprocal. Negative 5/6. I would have put this up here, but reciprocal, the word was in the way. Okay. Now 12 times negative 5/6. 12 times negative 5 is negative 60. And 1 times 6 is 6. So negative 60 divided by 6 is negative 10. So that means k equals negative 10. All right, number 8. Negative 1/2 is being multiplied by m. So we are going to multiply by the reciprocal, negative 2 over 1. 2 over 1. Negative 9 times negative 2 is positive 18 over 1, or just 18. M equals 18. All right, number 9. To solve a two-step equation, number 1, undo the addition subtraction to remove the constant term. Now we're going back to describing the parts of an equation and an expression. Remember that. Constant terms are just the numbers. Undo the multiplication and division to remove the coefficient from the variable term. So remember, our goal is to get the variable all by itself. Number 9, in order to get rid of the constant term, we're going to add 8 to both sides. 6x equals 58. And then to get rid of the coefficient to the variable term, I'm going to divide by 6. And x equals, see, 29 divided by 3, 29 thirds. Number 10, in order to get rid of the constant term, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. These cancel out, 2n, just bring it down, equals 16. Divide by 2, n equals 8. Number 11, to get rid of the constant term, subtract 9. And to get rid of the coefficient to negative 4k, divide by negative 4. K equals 4 divided by negative 4, negative 1. Number 12, to get rid of the constant term, subtract 7. Bring everything down. All right, now divide by negative 3 to get rid of the coefficient. Divide by negative 3 on both sides, and y equals negative 9. All right, first page done. Looks like a hot mess. Can't wait for my new stylus. All right, second page. All right, first thing here, get rid of the constant term. Add 7 to both sides. Whoa, my handwriting just went crazy. Nope, red, please. These cancel. X divided by 2 equals 16. Since 2 is being divided by x, or x is being divided by 2, to get rid of it, we're going to multiply each side by 2. And x equals 32. 14. Subtract 8 from both sides. C divided by negative 5 equals 3. And since c is being divided by negative 5, we need to multiply both sides by negative 5. Doing the opposite, c equals negative 15. Get rid of 22. Subtract it on both sides since it's being added. 28 minus 22 is 6. 3/5 x equals 6. Now, to get rid of 3/5, I could divide, but remember, it's very hard to think about dividing fractions, so why don't we multiply instead by the reciprocal? All right, so 6 times 5 is 30, divided by 3 equals 10. X equals 10. Subtract 1 from both sides. Negative 1/3 m equals negative 8. And again, to get rid of this fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, negative 3 over 1. Negative 3 over 1. And on this side, they cancel out. Negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. Divided by 1 is 1. So 24. All right, add 10 to both sides. Cancels out. Negative 38 plus 10 is negative 28. Equals 7/4 p. And to get rid of 7/4, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. 4/7. Negative 28 times 4. Well, 25 times 4 is 100, and 28 is 3 more, so that's 112. Divided by 7. All right, so these cancel out. P equals negative 16. Number 18. Subtract 9 from both sides. Cancels out. Negative 1/2 x equals 6. And instead of dividing by negative 1/2, we're going to multiply by negative 1/2 on both sides. Sorry for the jumbledness there. And 6 times negative 1/2, that's negative 6 over 2 equals x. And negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. All right, so now 19 through 22, these examples are special because they force you to do the multiplication or division first. In this case, it looks like they're all multiplication first. So in the previous examples, we were getting rid of the constant by either adding or subtracting first. Here, we are getting rid of the denominator by multiplying first. So it's a little different. It's kind of like backwards, but it's still 2 steps. Number 19, to get rid of 8 in the denominator, we have to multiply both sides by 8. It's being divided, so we multiply. X plus 11 equals negative 24. And then subtract 11 from both sides. X equals negative 35. Number 20. Since negative 2 is being divided by n minus 5, remember, we're trying to get the variable by itself here. We're going to multiply both sides by negative 2. Okay, n minus 5 equals negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. Add 5 to both sides. N equals 19. 21, a minus 13 is being divided by negative 6, so we're going to multiply by negative 6 on both sides. Cancels. A minus 13 equals negative 6. Add 13 to both sides. And A equals, I'm going to go off to the side here, 7. Last example, multiply both sides by 9. W plus 8 equals 36. Subtract 8. Subtract 8. And W equals 28. All right, great job, you guys. Look forward to seeing your work. Keep working hard, and may the force be with you.